The lost signal. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the massive holographic display in Europa Station's command center, her dark eyes fixed on the mysterious signal pattern that had haunted her dreams for the past 3 months. The signal, first detected by the station's deep space array, pulsed with an oddly familiar rhythm that defied conventional analysis. "You're seeing patterns where none exist, Sarah." Director Hammond's voice carried across the chamber, heavy with exhaustion and skepticism. "We need to focus on the Vex fleet approaching the Kuiper Belt, not chase ghosts." Sarah turned, her expression resolute. "This isn't just random noise, Director. The signal structure matches classified files from the First Contact War, files that were supposed to have been destroyed 50 years ago." The command center fell silent. The First Contact War remained humanity's darkest hour, when an alien force had nearly wiped out Earth's colonies. History recorded humanity's victory through conventional means, but rumors persisted of a secret weapon, a ship unlike any other, that had turned the tide before vanishing without a trace. "The Prometheus," Sarah said softly, bringing up another hologram, ancient schematics she pieced together from fragments of data. "It wasn't destroyed or lost. It's been waiting, broadcasting this signal from somewhere beneath Europa's ice." Hammond's face darkened. "The Prometheus is a myth, Doctor. A story parents tell their children about humanity's finest hour. We don't have time for." An alarm cut through the air. The main display shifted, showing a massive energy signature at the edge of the solar system. The Vex fleet had arrived early. 37 ships, the tactical officer reported, his voice trembling. "Largest signatures we've ever recorded. They'll reach Jupiter's orbit in less than 72 hours. Sarah's hands flew across her console, overlaying the mysterious signal's coordinates with Europa's topographical data. "Director, look at this. The signal's origin point. It's exactly 3.7 kilometers beneath Research Site Gamma. The ice density readings, the energy signatures. Something massive is down there." Hammond studied the data, his resistance wavering. "Even if you're right, even if the Prometheus somehow exists, we have no way to reach it. The ice." "Actually, we do," Sarah interrupted, pulling up schematics for the station's experimental thermal lance. "We modified the lance last month for deep ice geological surveys. With some adjustments, we could reach the signal's depth in less than 40 hours. The command center erupted in argument. Some supported investigating the signal, others insisted on evacuating the station before the Vex arrived. Hammond raised his hand for silence. "The Vex destroyed 3 of our most advanced warships like they were toys," he said quietly. "If there's even a fraction of a chance." He turned to Sarah. "You have 48 hours, Doctor. Find your ghost ship." The next 2 days passed in a blur of activity. Sarah led the drilling operation personally, pushing the thermal lance to its limits. The ice groaned and cracked around them as they bored deeper into Europa's frozen crust. Hour after hour, the signal grew stronger. At hour 47, the lance broke through into a massive cavern. Sarah's team deployed survey drones, their lights illuminating something impossible. A ship over 1 kilometer long, its hull covered in patterns that seemed to shift and move in the darkness. "My God," Hammond whispered over the comm. "It's real." The Prometheus hung suspended in the ice cavern, preserved perfectly after 50 years. As Sarah's team approached in their survey craft, lights began to activate along the ancient vessel's hull. A voice echoed through their comms, artificial but somehow warm. "Identity confirmed. Human vessels detected. Genetic markers match authorized personnel parameters. Welcome, children of Earth. I am ARIA, the Prometheus's artificial intelligence. I have waited a long time for you to find us." Sarah felt tears freezing on her cheeks as she replied. "We need your help, ARIA. Earth is in danger." "I know," ARIA responded. "I have monitored the Vex fleet's approach. The Prometheus was created for exactly this purpose, to defend humanity when conventional weapons would not suffice, initiating emergency revival protocols." Please stand by. The patterns across the Prometheus's hull began to pulse with light, and Sarah realized they weren't decorative. They were functional, part of the ship's mysterious technology. Ice sublimated instantly around the massive vessel as its systems came online. Full restoration will take 18 hours, Araya announced. The Vex fleet will arrive in 20. We will be ready, Dr. Chen. The Prometheus has not forgotten its purpose. Sarah watched in awe as the legendary ship awakened. Humanity had created something miraculous during the First Contact War, something that defied conventional physics. Now, as an even greater threat approached, their ancestors' greatest achievement had returned. They would need every advantage it could provide. The real test was about to begin. The awakening. The Prometheus rose through Europa's ice like a leviathan breaking through Arctic seas. Massive chunks of frozen crust fell away as the kilometer-long vessel emerged into space, its hull patterns pulsing with ethereal light. Sarah watched from Europa Station's observation deck, her heart pounding as humanity's greatest creation revealed itself for the first time in half a century. All systems online, Araya announced through the station's comm system. Hull integrity at 100%. Quantum matrix stable. Beginning crew integration protocols. Director Hammond stepped up beside Sarah, his eyes wide with wonder. In all my years, I never. He cleared his throat. The Vex fleet has accelerated. They'll be here in 16 hours. Whatever the Prometheus can do, we need to understand it fast. Sarah nodded, already moving toward the docking bay, where a shuttle waited to take her team to the ancient vessel. The closer they got to the Prometheus, the more its true nature became apparent. The shifting patterns on its hull weren't just light displays. They were transforming the space around the ship in ways their sensors couldn't fully comprehend. The shuttle passed through an energy field that made Sarah's skin tingle, and they entered one of the Prometheus's massive hangar bays. The interior was unlike any ship she'd ever seen. Corridors seemed to bend in impossible ways, and surfaces rippled with the same flowing patterns as the hull. Araya's voice guided them to the bridge, explaining as they walked. The Prometheus was built using technology reverse-engineered from artifacts found beneath Mars' surface. The quantum matrix allows us to exist partially outside normal spacetime, making conventional weapons largely ineffective against us. The bridge itself was a cathedral of advanced technology. Instead of traditional control stations, the walls were covered in shifting holographic displays. A central pillar of light pulsed in rhythm with Araya's voice. However, the AI continued. Operating the ship requires extensive neural integration. The human crew must synchronize with my systems to fully utilize our capabilities. The process is demanding. Neural integration? Hammond asked sharply. You mean connecting human minds to the ship's computer? Correct. The quantum matrix generates too much data for conventional controls. Direct neural links are necessary. Sarah stepped forward. I'll do it. I studied the Prometheus's systems more than anyone. I'm ready. Dr. Chen, Hammond protested. We don't know what this could do to you. We don't have a choice, Sarah replied. The Vex are coming, and we need to understand this ship's capabilities now. Araya's central pillar brightened. Integration pods are prepared. We require a minimum of 3 synchronized crew members to operate at full capacity. 2 other scientists from Sarah's team, Dr. Marcus Wong and Dr. Elena Rodriguez, volunteered immediately. They were led to separate chambers where sleek pods waited, their interiors lined with neural interfaces. As Sarah lay back in her pod, she heard Araya's voice. Beginning neural synchronization. Please remain calm. The world dissolved into light and information. Sarah felt her consciousness expanding, merging with the Prometheus's systems. She could sense Marcus and Elena doing the same, their minds joining hers in a vast neural network orchestrated by Araya. Suddenly, she understood. The shifting patterns, the impossible geometries, they were manipulations of quantum probability itself. The Prometheus didn't just move through space, it moved through possible versions of space. existing in multiple probabilistic states simultaneously. Neural integration complete, Araya announced. Crew synchronization at optimal levels. Quantum matrix responding. Through her expanded awareness, Sarah felt the ship's weapons powering up. Arrays that could fire into multiple probability states at once, striking targets across different possible timelines. Defensive systems that could shift the ship between probabilities, making it virtually impossible to hit. Multiple contacts detected, Araya reported. Vex scout vessels approaching Jupiter's orbit. They are attempting to locate us. Sarah felt the tactical data flow through her mind. 3 Vex ships, each larger than Earth's most powerful warship. Through the neural link, she instinctively understood how to respond. The Prometheus's quantum matrix engage. Reality seemed to blur around them as the ship partially phased out of normal spacetime. They could see the Vex vessels scanning for them, their sensors passing harmlessly through probability states where the Prometheus wasn't. Weapons locked, Marcus reported through the neural link, ready to demonstrate what this ship can do. Hold, Sarah commanded. Let's show them exactly what they're dealing with. The Prometheus shifted, allowing itself to be detected. The Vex ships immediately moved to attack positions, their weapons charging with ominous green energy. They're about to learn, Alina thought through the link, why this ship became a legend. The quantum matrix hummed with power as the Prometheus prepared for its first battle in 50 years. The Vex were about to discover that humanity's greatest weapon had returned, and it was more powerful than ever. Trial by fire. The void between Jupiter and Europa erupted with green fire as the Vex scouts opened fire. Their energy weapons carved burning lines through space, but the Prometheus was no longer where it had appeared to be. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the quantum matrix shift, moving the ship through probability states faster than thought. Multiple targeting solutions available, Marcus communicated through the link. The Vex ships exist in 4 probable states. We can strike all of them simultaneously. Sarah felt the tactical data flow through her consciousness. The Prometheus wasn't just avoiding enemy fire. It was analyzing every possible move the Vex ships could make, every potential future state of the battle. Through Araya's guidance, she understood how to use this impossible advantage. Target the lead vessel, Sarah commanded. Show them what we can do. The Prometheus's weapons activated. Instead of conventional energy beams or projectiles, streams of concentrated probability emerged from ports along the hull. The attack struck the Vex ship across multiple timelines at once, hitting it in places that should have been impossible to target. The enemy vessel's shields flared brilliantly and failed completely. Its hull cracked apart as weapons fire struck it from angles that defied physics, each hit landing in a different probability state, but causing damage in all of them. By the stars, Alina whispered through the neural link. We're not just firing weapons. We're weaponizing reality itself. The remaining Vex ships split up, attempting to flank the Prometheus. Their tactics were advanced, coordinated, but Sarah could see the flaw in their strategy. They were thinking in conventional space, while the Prometheus existed partially outside of it. Araya, Sarah called out. Can we exist in multiple positions simultaneously? Affirmative, the AI responded. Quantum matrix capable of generating up to 3 stable probability shells. Warning: power consumption increases exponentially with each shell. Sarah felt Marcus and Alina's agreement through the link before she even voiced the command. Do it. Split us into 3. Reality blurred, and suddenly the Prometheus existed in 3 different locations at once. Each version was equally real, equally capable of attacking and defending. The Vex ships found themselves surrounded by a vessel that broke every rule of space and time they understood. The second Vex scout tried to retreat, its engines flaring bright as it attempted to escape. All 3 versions of the Prometheus fired simultaneously, their probability streams converging from different angles and timelines. The enemy ship's shields held for exactly 2 seconds before collapsing. Its hull lasted another 3 seconds before breaking apart. The final Vex vessel transmitted a burst of data, a warning to the main fleet, before the Prometheus's weapons torn it apart. Through the neural link, Sarah felt a moment of regret. These were thinking beings they were destroying, but the Vex had made their intentions clear. They wouldn't stop until Earth was conquered or destroyed. Enemy vessels eliminated, HFY announced. Quantum matrix stable. Power reserves at 72%. The neural link allowed Sarah to feel the ship's systems recovering. Probability shells collapsing back into a single timeline. The technology was incredible, but not unlimited. They would need to be strategic when facing the main Vex fleet. The transmission got through, Elena reported. The main fleet will know what happened here. Good, Sarah replied. Let them come. Now they know what they're facing. Director Hammond's voice cut through their communion with the ship. Dr. Chen, the main Vex fleet has changed course. They're accelerating toward Jupiter. Arrival estimated in 12 hours. Through the neural link, Sarah felt Marcus and Elena's determination matching her own. The Prometheus had proven itself against scouts, but soon they would face hundreds of warships. The quantum matrix was powerful, but it had limits. They would need more than just advanced technology to win this fight. HFY, Sarah called out. Show us everything. Every capability, every system. If we're going to save Earth, we need to understand exactly what this ship can do. The AI's response held a note of approval. Initiating full systems review. Preparing advanced combat simulations. The Prometheus was built for this moment, Dr. Chen. Together, we will remind the galaxy why humanity should never be underestimated. As the ship's full capabilities unfolded in their linked minds, Sarah felt a mix of awe and determination. The Prometheus wasn't just a weapon, it was humanity's greatest achievement, a testament to their ability to push beyond the boundaries of what should be possible. The real test was coming. The Vex would arrive with overwhelming force, expecting to crush Earth's defenses. Instead, they would face a legend reborn, crewed by humans who were beginning to understand the true power they commanded. The next 12 hours would determine the fate of their species. Sarah and her crew would make every minute count. The price of victory. The Prometheus hung in space near Europa, its hull patterns pulsing with restrained power. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the quantum matrix humming through every molecule of the massive ship. The past 8 hours had been spent pushing the vessel's capabilities to their limits, learning secrets that had been lost for 50 years. Analysis complete, HFY announced. The Vex fleet consists of 412 warships, including 3 dreadnoughts. Their weapons technology has advanced significantly since the First Contact War. Director Hammond's voice crackled through the comm. Our long-range scans confirm it. They're moving in attack formation, spreading out to prevent any escape from the Jupiter system. Sarah accessed the tactical data through her neural connection, sharing her thoughts instantly with Marcus and Elena. The Vex fleet's formation was perfect for conventional warfare, but the Prometheus didn't fight conventionally. We've identified their command structure, Marcus reported, his consciousness merging with the tactical systems. The dreadnoughts coordinate their attacks through quantum-encrypted channels. If we can disrupt their communication. It's not that simple, Elena interrupted, her thoughts tinged with concern. The neural link is showing me their backup systems. Each ship can operate independently if needed. We need something more decisive. Sarah felt HFY's presence in their shared consciousness, offering a solution that made her blood run cold. The quantum matrix can be overloaded, the AI explained. A catastrophic release of probability energy would create a temporal shockwave, destroying everything within its radius, including us. Sarah finished the thought. A suicide attack. Negative, HFY corrected. The Prometheus could survive by shifting into an alternate probability state, but the power requirements would be enormous. We would need to absorb energy from the Vex ships themselves to fuel the transition. Through the neural link, Sarah felt Marcus and Elena's mix of horror and determination. What HFY suggested wasn't just fighting. It was using the enemy's own destruction to power their survival. surfing a wave of probability through the quantum matrix. How many ships would we need to destroy? Sarah asked. Minimum of 50 vessels to generate sufficient energy, Araya replied. We would need to engage at close range. Risk of destruction before achieving the objective. 67%. Director Hammond's voice cut through their communion again. Dr. Chen, we're detecting power spikes from the Vex fleet. They're preparing to attack. Whatever you're planning, we need to act now. Sarah accessed the Prometheus's long-range sensors, watching the Vex fleet approach. Their formation was spreading out, trying to prevent the probability-shifting tactics that had destroyed their scouts. They were learning, adapting. We have another option, Elena offered through the link. The quantum matrix can generate defensive fields around other objects. We could protect Europa Station and the colonies. Try to hold out until reinforcements arrive. Reinforcements won't come in time, Marcus thought back. Earth's fleet is still days away. We have to end this now. Sarah felt the weight of command pressing down on her. Through the neural link, she could sense every system on the Prometheus, every weapon and defense. They had humanity's greatest achievement at their disposal, but would it be enough? Araya, she called out. Show me the probability calculations. What are our chances if we try to fight them conventionally? Based on current data, 12% survival probability. The Vex fleet's numbers will eventually overwhelm our ability to maintain multiple probability states. Sarah made her decision. We'll split the difference. Elena, you'll coordinate our defensive screens around the colonies. Marcus, prepare the weapons for close-range combat. We're going to punch straight through their formation. Their numbers are too great, Araya warned. Even with the quantum matrix, we cannot engage them all simultaneously. We don't have to, Sarah replied, a plan forming in her mind. We just need to make them think we can. The Vex rely on logic, on predictability. Let's show them something impossible. Through the neural link, she shared her strategy. It was reckless, probably suicidal. But it might be their only chance. Marcus and Elena's thoughts resonated with agreement, their consciousness merging more deeply with the ship's systems as they prepared. All power to the quantum matrix, Sarah commanded. Let's show them why the Prometheus became a legend. The ship's hull patterns blazed with energy as they activated every system simultaneously. In the void ahead, the Vex fleet entered weapons range, their ships spreading out in perfect formation to destroy a single vessel. They weren't ready for what the Prometheus had become. They weren't ready for humans who had learned to weaponize reality itself. The final battle for Earth was about to begin. Legacy of stars. The void between Jupiter and Europa erupted with impossible light as the Prometheus initiated its final gambit. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the quantum matrix surge to full power, reality fragmenting around them as the ship split into multiple probability states. Defensive screens active around all colonies, Elena reported, her consciousness stretched across space to maintain the protective fields. But our power reserves are dropping fast. The Vex fleet approached in perfect formation, their ship's weapons charging with deadly green energy. Sarah watched through the Prometheus's quantum-enhanced sensors as their enemies prepared for what they thought would be a simple execution. They were wrong. Execute attack pattern Omega, Sarah commanded. Show them everything. The Prometheus burst into action, existing in 12 different probability states simultaneously. Each version of the ship was equally real, equally deadly. Power consumption soared as they pushed the quantum matrix beyond its designed limits, but they only needed to maintain it for a few crucial minutes. The Vex fleet's perfect formation dissolved into chaos as they tried to track multiple versions of the Prometheus appearing and disappearing across space. Their weapons fired in coordinated patterns, but they were shooting at ghosts, at possibilities that no longer existed. Energy absorption systems ready, Marcus called through the link. We're catching 60% of their weapons fire, converting it to power for the Matrix. The Prometheus struck back. Probability streams lanced out from multiple timelines, each beam finding the perfect angle of attack across different possible futures. Vex ships began to break apart as weapons fire hit them from directions that should have been impossible. But the enemy adapted quickly. Their formation shifted, creating overlapping fields of fire that would catch the Prometheus, no matter which probability state it occupied. Sarah felt the strain through the neural link as ARIA pushed the quantum matrix harder, trying to maintain their advantage. "Warning," ARIA announced. "Matrix stability at critical levels. We cannot maintain this many probability shells." Through their shared consciousness, Sarah felt Marcus's pain as he pushed the weapon systems beyond their limits, felt Elena's struggle to maintain the defensive screens around the colonies. They were achieving the impossible, but at a terrible cost. "Vex command ships launching some kind of temporal weapon," Marcus reported. "Energy signature it's similar to our quantum matrix." Sarah watched in horror as reality began to tear around them. The Vex weren't just trying to destroy the Prometheus. They were attempting to collapse all probability states into one, forcing the ship into a single timeline where it could be destroyed. "ARIA," Sarah called out. "The energy absorption system. Can we take in the temporal weapon's power?" "Theoretical possibility exists," the AI responded, "but the risk of quantum matrix overload is extreme." "Do it," Sarah commanded. "Elena, drop the colonial shields. Divert everything to the matrix. Marcus, plot us a course straight through their formation." The Prometheus surged forward, directly into the heart of the Vex fleet. Enemy weapons fire intensified, but now, instead of avoiding it, they were deliberately intercepting it. The ship's systems groaned as they absorbed more and more energy, the quantum matrix glowing with impossible power. "Theoretical possibility exists," the AI responded, "but the risk of quantum matrix overload is extreme." "Do it," Sarah commanded. "Elena, drop the colonial shields. Divert everything to the matrix. Marcus, plot us a course straight through their formation." The Prometheus surged forward, directly into the heart of the Vex fleet. Enemy weapons fire intensified, but now, instead of avoiding it, they were deliberately intercepting it. The ship's systems groaned as they absorbed more and more energy, the quantum matrix glowing with impossible power. "Matrix containment failing," ARIA warned. "Overload imminent." "Not overload," Sarah corrected, sharing her realization through the neural link. "Transcendence." The Vex temporal weapon fired, a beam of pure probability manipulation that would have forced any normal object into a single state of reality. But the Prometheus was ready. As the beam struck, the ship's enhanced absorption systems drew in its power, adding it to their already overcharged quantum matrix. Reality shattered. The Prometheus existed everywhere and nowhere, in every possible state at once. Through the neural link, Sarah felt her consciousness expanding beyond normal spacetime, merging more deeply with the ship's systems. Marcus and Elena were there too, their minds united in understanding what they had become. "We are seeing all probabilities at once," ARIA announced, its artificial voice filled with wonder. "Every possible outcome, every potential future." Sarah focused their combined will through the quantum matrix, now powered beyond anything its creators had imagined. The Prometheus moved through probability itself, striking at the Vex fleet from angles that transcended normal space. Enemy ships began to break apart, their sophisticated technology useless against an opponent that could choose which laws of physics to obey. The great dreadnoughts, pride of the Vex armada, crumbled as weapons fire struck them from futures that would never exist. "The matrix is stabilizing," Elena reported in amazement. "The energy, we're not just containing it, we're mastering it." Through their expanded consciousness, Sarah understood what they had achieved. The Prometheus wasn't just a weapon anymore, it was a door to humanity's next evolution. Their ancestors had built better than they knew, creating a ship that could transcend the boundaries of reality itself. The remaining Vex ships began to retreat, their perfect formation now a chaotic rout. They had come expecting to find a primitive species ready for harvest. Instead, they had encountered something beyond their comprehension. "Let them run," Sarah commanded as Marcus prepared to pursue. "Let them tell others what they found here." The Prometheus hung in space, its hull patterns now flowing with colors that had no names in human language. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the ship's systems settling into a new configuration, one that offered possibilities they had only begun to understand. "What exactly have we become?" Elena wondered through their shared consciousness. "Something new," Araya replied. "Something that can protect humanity as it takes its next steps into the cosmos." Sarah looked out at the stars, seeing them not just as they were, but as they could be. The Prometheus had been built to defend humanity, but it had given them so much more. It had shown them what they could become. "Send word to Earth," she commanded. Tell them the legend was true. But the reality is far greater than any story." The Prometheus's hull patterns pulsed with power as they prepared to return to Europa. They had won more than just a battle. They had discovered humanity's legacy among the stars, and it was only the beginning.